Hello, I'm Avery or Hazel or Kylie. You can just pick one, I don't care.
Hello, I am Lily.
And the forest of certain death is not safe.
I don't believe you.
Anyway, welcome to the From the Closet podcast. Today we are covering Star vs. the Forces of Evil Season 2. You will find a Just Watch link below for you to be able to rent or purchase or stream the movie. Our links are centered around the US, but if you use the app, it will automatically redirect you to your country. And if you are viewing it in your web browser, you will have to manually switch the country. This episode will contain spoilers for Season 2 of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. If you like this podcast, you can go and listen to it in other platforms. There will be a link below to anchor.fm, which will have the links to the podcast on every single platform and our YouTube channel.
And also our socials.
Oh yeah, that too. Next week, you can join us for Infinity Train Season 3 and something else. We don't know what that something else is going to be yet. So yeah, I think with all that out of the way, we can get on with it. So spoilers going forward, guys.
Fun.
Yeah. So I think before we start digging into talking about each episode, I want to talk about my experience.
Okay, no countdown. Okay.
Yeah, I
We're
want
just
to talk
diving
about
into
my
it.
experience watching this show the first time. So when I started watching this show, Season 2 was still in progress. So I was able to fully binge Season 1 and then, jump straight into Season 2. Once I got caught up, the next episode that was set to release was Bon Bon the Birthday Clown, which was the last episode for like 2 or 3 months. It was commonly being called either the mid-season finale or the winter finale because it was aired in December. But regardless of which one you called it, that was like what it was called, and I watched that episode on TV because I literally finished the episode before it the day before that episode was set to air. So I was also very, very active on the Star vs. the Forces of Evil Amino during the build-up through Season 2 and through the Battle for Muni, which we haven't covered yet. And I know Amino is terrible, but it was the most active community around this show.
Wait, that's news to me. You had an Amino account?
Yes. I know, I know Amino is terrible. Amino is terrible, but they were the most active community for this show. So there was a lot of stuff I was seeing. There were also live streams that were done on, I believe, the Disney XD YouTube channel, where basically there'd be like animated avatars of Marco and Star, and the voice actors would be hosting the live streams. And those live streams actually established some things in the lore canonically, and some things would they'd get late. We'd actually see payoffs from some of the things talked about in those live streams later on in the show. I can't remember very many specific things, but one of the things they mentioned was Star is a terrible cook, which we did see that later in the show. And another thing that they said, the butterfly form that we saw Star with in the Muberty episode in Season 1 was not her final butterfly form. And we don't actually see her final butterfly form in this season. But from my time on the Amino, there were a lot of people drawing fan art imagining what Moon's form looked like. And like it was a massive like
How
source of
accurate did they get it?
speculation. Uh like one or two people got it very, very close.
Wow.
That Yeah. So once Bon Bon the Birthday Clown aired, it was like 2, 3 months before we got another episode, and then I started watching all of these episodes on TV, and it the way the season is shaped, it's kind of like Bon Bon the Birthday Clown happens, and then every single episode is pretty much a major one. Or at least one of the two parts, if it's like two different episodes in one, which it usually is. At least one of those is a major
Hmm.
episode. Because they have several episodes focusing on individual members of the Magic High Commission, which, like, you actually know what that is now. Um, and, like, you have stuff focusing on Ludo, and oh my god, I remember the fandom going crazy when, like, we actually meet Ludo's family. And now in a 2022 world, I can't stop imagining Ludo's family singing a parody of We Don't Talk About Bruno, but instead it's We Don't Talk About
Oh
Ludo.
no. Oh god. The real question is, why hasn't no one made a parody of that yet?
Also, I just love how
So,
that family is like, you know, Bruto, Kudo, Chudo, Menudo, Ludo, and Dennis.
I mean, by
It's
that
like,
standard, you'd really think it'd be, we don't talk about Dennis.
yeah, but instead it's Ludo. And also, plot twist, Ludo's actually short for his species.
Huh. So,
Who
after
knew?
seeing his family, you can look at all of his past actions and be like, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, but anyway, other things too is like, people were speculating about what the voice in the wand was. I don't know if very many people guessed Toffee.
I never guessed it was Toffee. I never really. Honestly, my guess was he was finally going crazy. That was my best guess there.
Yeah, but plot twist, there was actually a voice in the wand, and it was Toffee.
I'm not very surprised it's Toffee, but damn, we don't really know very much about Toffee at all.
Yeah, even at this point,
Except
pretty
how
much all we know is
powerful
that
he
like
is.
yeah, like pretty much all at this point, all we know is he's like extremely sinister, extremely powerful, um, and like he can regenerate, but not his finger for some reason. And he
That
fought
is
Moon
a
in the
weird
past.
thing. That is strange. So, how much of this will be resolved in. No, because of what you said. Yeah, all of this will have to be resolved in the 2 hour special.
Yep, the Battle for Muni, which we will be covering separately from season 3 because it was never intended to be part of season 3. And they changed that after the fact. So, yeah, let's
It's
actually
kind of
start
like
getting
when
into. Go ahead.
oh it's kind of like I guess Kim Possible did movies in between the seasons. Well,
Yeah.
2 movies
Uh,
in between season. I actually forgot. I think between season 2 and 3 and 4, maybe. I'm guessing on that part.
but yeah, I think we should go ahead and start getting into episode by episode. Um, and I'm pretty sure the very, very first episode, I don't know the name of it, but it's the one where Marco is locked inside Star's secrets closet, and Star has to dip down to get him out.
Yes, which I guess that's what Star was doing in the season 1 finale. She was dipping
Yeah,
down.
which for some reason I thought we wouldn't get a reveal for what that was until the battle for Muni. I'm wrong. I was wrong about that. But hey, this also means it has even more parallels with the Avatar state, because guess what else was revealed in season 2, episode 1? The Avatar state, like in The Last Airbender.
Hmm.
So it's kind of weird that that happened. The only real difference between the two of them in terms of like how they were shown is that the Avatar state happened multiple times in Avatar: The Last Airbender season 1, whereas dipping down only happened once in Star versus the Forces of Evil season 1.
And at least we're shown in like the very first time that Star used it, it is extremely powerful.
Oh
And of
yes,
course, now she's just unlocking blocks.
indeed. Oh, I'm not sure when this show is going to start bringing up a specific name, but you probably did notice that they were bringing up a specific name over and over again.
Yes, I forgot the name though.
But yeah, it's a nice reveal. It also sort of is setting up that Star might have feelings for Marco or something. God, the
Hmm.
shipping wars on the Amino were crazy, especially after the Friend Enemies episode, because then you had people shipping Tom and Marco a lot. And then you had Running with Scissors, and people were shipping Marco and Hekapu a lot. Um, and then people ship Jana and
Yeah,
Marco,
I can
and people ship
imagine.
Jackie and Marco.
Is anyone shipping Star? Like, Jesus. Is it all about Marco?
Yeah, there were people shipping Star and Marco. There were people shipping Star and uh, Tom.
Okay, that's just weird.
Oh, you think it's weird now?
Oh god, it's gonna get worse, isn't it?
Yep, it's gonna get worse. But anyway,
It's like their
next,
episodes is
what's the next
how
half?
Tom, oh, Ludo in the Wild.
This episode kind of reminds me of that one episode of Camp Camp where, like, David has to survive on his own.
Yeah. Ludo tames 2 friends and and finds the other half of the wand. I've been wondering
Yeah,
what where the other half was going to be. I did not expect it to be in Ludo's hands.
yeah, but then, like, it's such a weird thing to, like, realize that Star threw Ludo, and, like, he still ended up in the same dimension, Muni. So
That is a bit weird. I didn't
yeah,
think about that.
and also I think when like he actually sees Star in that episode, I think that's just a hallucination.
Oh yeah, that is most definitely a hallucination.
But yeah, what's the next episode?
Oh, actually, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. It's about this reoccurring character that apparently just showed up for no apparent reason. Who the hell is Star Fan? What, 6 or something? Oh, 6?
Starfan 13. She was actually
Oh,
in
thank you.
season 1,
13.
but yeah, she was actually in season 1, but not that much. And they also never called her by name until actually partway through this season, because she actually shows up long before they ever say Starfan 13. She's
Huh.
kind of a weird character, and it's really hilarious. Um, she's also canonically gay, so there's that.
Yeah, but yeah, probably gay for Star.
Yeah, like canonically, they established that in the sleepover episode.
Yeah. Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Nah,
Oh,
actually,
right. I guess we also should start.
I think most of the fandom actually loved Starfan 13.
Just, just weird. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
She's actually in episode 1 of this season, because like it
Hmm.
opens up on like episode 1 opens up on Star talking to someone on Marco's laptop. It was her.
Huh. Did not know that.
Yeah, if you went back and watched the episode, you would have noticed it. Um,
Um. Oh, and our next episode is about the school guidance counselor who is actually just a spy for Tom.
yes, and like Mr. Candle, and I love that he comes back later, multiple times actually. But I love when he comes back later in the episode regarding Otis, the school mascot, and Star's like, "Why are you sad? You're not even from this dimension."
I did find that pretty funny.
Yeah.
I have no idea what his deal is.
But yeah, it's like kind of funny how I don't know. I thought it was quite hilarious hearing Marco just say the random shit he was saying just to piss off Tom. It's great. Pissing off Tom is always fun.
It's easy. It's a cakewalk. Oh,
Yeah.
and next episode we have Red Bolt.
Ah, yes. This episode is it's all right. Um, I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was one of the less interesting fillers.
God damn,
And
what was Star
sure,
doing? Um, oh, fucking Star was trying to find a hammer.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. It's a filler episode. There's really not much to talk about. Cool that the videotapes, that reference came back. How the fuck do you get a videotape that's okay? I have some questions about the only viewed once comment. Uh, Because is that referring to the actual, like that instance of the tape itself, or the actual video entirely? I would hope it's just that tape itself.
I'm imagining it's just the tape. How the hell would he know, how many times it's been viewed on, the entire world?
Also, that fight scene was very, very weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, next.
Ooh. Star learns how to ride a bike.
This episode was, I think, mainly just here to show Star flying for a brief few seconds.
No. This episode was clearly to establish that invisible goats are in this world, and they're here for you to ride.
I think that was just the animators really showing off and just like having a field day, because I don't know, like that had to be really fucking fun to animate.
I didn't
I
love
mean,
how Marco's like,
it was
for
either
the last
really
time,
really
there's no.
it was either really really fun or really really ass.
Probably a mix of both, if I'm being honest.
I don't know. To me, it just seems like there'd be no in between. But yeah, I don't think the invisible goats ever got referenced again. So
Wait, not ever in the series, or?
ever in the series.
God damn, I want this to be Marco's new way of transportation. But clearly that wasn't. The fuck? I'll when we get to it, I'll get to it. Fetch.
Okay, so this episode was the one you texted me about while you were watching through this um, while you were watching through this season. But yeah, so Star throws her
Smallish, medium
wand.
to large dog.
Yeah, smallish, medium to large dog who may or may not bark. So every dog then. I mean, it was so obviously a fake flyer. Marco calls it out later in the episode. I don't know. This episode is really just shenanigans. Lily, you there?
What? Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry, my phone vibrated for some reason, and I thought you were disconnected.
My soul
But
is
yeah,
disconnected from my body.
yeah. I think this episode there's not really too much going on other than like it's another one of those fillers. So next.
Uh, so this is actually really weird. So we have season 2, episode 4, Star versus the Echo Creek, 1-to-1. These. So if you reverse the episode, that's what Google is apparently saying season 2, episode 0 is.
That's really weird. Yeah, I'm gonna need a bit more of a description on what Star versus Echo Creek is, though.
Oh, of course. Despite Star doing thousands of property damage every single day, apparently actually destroying this one police car is really meaning to her.
Ah, yes. So she accidentally destroys a police car that they were going to destroy anyway, and she takes off. Marco ends up reporting her missing because, she was missing. And
Okay,
yeah,
I'm just
like,
gonna be honest here. Like, didn't Star have already made a significant amount of property damage already in the series?
yes.
What's new?
What's new is that she thinks she'll actually be in trouble for this one.
Okay, but why does Marco think that? She's seen. I swear
Because
this is
it's
not
a
even the
police
first time that
car.
she. I don't
Like,
think this is the first time she blew up a police car. I mean, their fights against in the first season must have had like several machine casualties. At least one of them could have been a police car.
I doubt it. But regardless, I think some of the funny things in this episode is like, my rainbows are made of stuff. That was funny. I think there was also like a line of like, get your sacrilege off my taco, which is something I was tempted to say as the intro. The
And
and then there's the lady who
mhm,
steals hair.
yeah,
Would you eat a
yeah.
pancake made out of hair?
No, I don't. No, no. Absolutely not. Actually, next episode, please. Um, obviously, I've already said it. Wand to wand. So Star's wand is more accurate but less powerful. Ludo's is way more powerful, but the accuracy was turned way down. And trying to hit each other is pathetic.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that Ludo's is more powerful, because it, it can pretty much mostly only do. Um, we never see it create life,
Hmm.
so that's a thing. Also, I
I've
think
always imagined, like, the reason why Star's wand was so more powerful, um, like, then it was maybe because Star's just more powerful than Ludo, period. But the wand itself has more power to it. Just very uncontrolled magic.
yeah, I think it's more the fact that Ludo doesn't know what he's doing. Um, so he's just unleashing more power at once.
I guess, yeah.
Because see, Star actually knows what she's doing, and like I have said before about how there are spells in her spell book, or at least there is a spell in her spell book that can destroy a universe. Which, fun fact, the queen who actually created that spell is mentioned in season 2. Solaria, the monster
Oh
carver,
god.
I believe. Um,
Oh wait, I just remembered the name that they keep referencing. Um, what was it? The first queen or something,
well, no, she
or
wasn't the
the best
first.
queen?
She wasn't the first queen, but she was by far the most powerful. Eclipsa.
Hmm.
Um,
Eclipsa. That's what it was.
and I mean, people kind of believed her to be evil. Like her chapter in the spell book is completely locked off because it's considered dark magic. And it was also stated that like she had a monster as her lover, and she fled Muni. But beyond that, we don't know really anything about her.
Not even from the rest of the series?
No, just I'm talking about this season.
Okay, so do we see her or know more about her in season 3 and beyond?
Yes.
In the movie episode?
We learn a bit more about her in the movie episode, yes. But is it okay? So this episode, um, is this the episode where Star learns the Warnicorn Stampede?
I I think so. Yeah, it has to be. Because then Ludo looks at the spell book and he's like, oh, there's a book. Then
Yeah,
leaves.
that was one of the big things this episode did. That was like, oh dear, things are probably not going to go great. But the weird thing to me is like, it's really not clear whose spell Warnicorn Stampede actually is.
Hmm. So we have actually been learning. So I feel like you've told me something. Like Star's been adding her own spells to the book. That got later said that since, well, Star's, spells are completely original and they're nowhere in the book, at least according to Glossaric.
Yeah, at this point, they aren't anywhere in the book.
So she later adds them when Glossaric is returned.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Uh, but like, of course, every Queen of Muni has to like actually have their spells written down, so that future generations could use those spells. We also earlier like established that Star could use magic without a wand, but that she had to dip down in order to do so.
That's such a weird thing to say, but okay. Okay, so
I'm saying
I want
this
to start.
because it will be important later. We
No,
also
I'm
get to
just
see.
saying the name Dip Down.
I mean, it's not really a name; it's more like just describing an action.
Yeah, still. Okay, we should probably get on with the episode because we're gonna be here all day. Starstruck.
That's too vague.
Star's biggest hero. Um, Star just meets her biggest hero. The warrior.
Oh God, Mina Loveberry. What an absolute train wreck of a character that was. Um, like she was relatively
Really,
fine in this episode, but in every single other appearance she will have throughout the rest of the series, you just start questioning what the fuck the writers are doing.
smoking meth. But I think this episode is just the embodiment of never meet your heroes. Yeah,
Yeah.
next. King Butterfly unexpectedly visits. I just stopped there because that describes like what at least 5 episodes.
No, it's
Anyway,
more like
unexpectedly
two, but um yeah, so this is the old youthful
anyway,
episode.
the camping trip.
I why were they going camping?
I I don't think it was ever explained. I think they were just going camping because they wanted to go camping.
Is this not the Old Youthful episode? Like, aren't the camping trip and Old Youthful the same episode, or was that later?
Old Youthful. Wait, was that earlier? Season 1, maybe?
No, Old Youthful was definitely season 2.
Okay, you're actually gonna have to give me a bit more information then, because I cannot remember Old Youthful for the life of me.
It's a geyser. Literally, like,
Oh yeah, it's the Old Youthful. Yep, there's that one.
I mean, it's pretty obvious it's a geyser because it's literally a pun on Old Faithful. You know, the geyser at
I don't
Yellowstone.
know that. Yeah, no, I don't know that one either. I don't look up geysers.
You literally live like a short drive away from it. And also, we've talked about it a number of times.
We've talked about the park. I don't think we've ever talked about the geyser.
Anyway, this episode is just another one that the fandom went crazy over because, oh, it was insinuated that Marco was Star's boyfriend. He's not. Not at this time. And yeah, this is a whole episode of like Star's dad just being really weird.
Okay, we're actually gonna have to pick up the pace because there's so many episodes in this season.
We
Okay, so
literally can't go any faster.
Star sitting.
Okay, this episode is fantastic. Star setting / on the job. This is kind of, you know, this episode is kind of one of those where it's like, really, these two could have just been one episode and they didn't need to have separate names. But it's like, you know, one half focuses on Star and Marco's view of things while the other half focuses on the other side. And like, Star has to kind of learn that, you know, rules really do need to apply sometimes. And
Oh yeah, I forgot. Star sitting starts and end with some questionable scenes. I'm sorry. Why is there mini Star and Marco, and then why is there mini Star and Marco being played by mini Star and Marco? This hurts my brain.
magic. Star created
And
the mini versions.
okay, did the mini version of Star created the minier version?
Probably not. It was probably still Star.
I actually love the end of the episode Star Sitting, where it's like they understood the lessons that need to be learned. It's like I wonder if our masters will ever learn it. Probably not.
Yeah, that was funny. I also love we get to see Yevgeny Yevgeny Buffgoyevov's perspective uh, when he goes out and is trying to do stuff, and they start sort of catching on to some of the stuff Ludo's doing, but they don't know it's Ludo yet.
Yeah,
But
they won't know it's Ludo
yeah, they
for
won't
a
know it's
little while.
yeah. But it's nice to see the relationship between Star and Buffrog start to develop more.
I'll be honest. I actually forgot any meaningful thing that came from this next episode. Goblin dogs.
There wasn't much meaningful to that episode except for the introduction of Kelly and
Oh right,
Tad.
Kelly. Who get together and break up every 5 days. Actually,
Days?
that's an understatement. maybe hours.
Yeah, it's more like ours. It's very clearly a toxic relationship, and thank God they eventually do end it permanently. Um, but yeah, Goblin Dog. Uh, I mean, it's pretty much a filler episode except for the introduction of Kelly, and Goblin Dogs are basically hot dogs filled with LSD.
Yeah. By the book.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to know more.
Glossric hides in a donut box following an argument with Star.
Wait, no, this is the one where she learns the Warnicorn Stampede.
Wait, that does seem right, but now I can't remember why she would use the Warnicorn Stampede.
Yeah, like this absolutely has to be that episode. But yeah, I think we pretty much
Because
talked mostly about that. But we also are like this episode's really important too for sort of establishing that Glossaric does not have a side. He doesn't have feelings, which explains how he treats the High Commission. Because, dear Lord, there's also like some implications that he created them, so they are literally his children. That makes things even worse.
I mean, it also understands how he doesn't have any emotions because he is literally a living glossary.
Yeah,
Given that's his purpose, and that's all it'll ever be. Oh, and also training new princesses.
yeah. So, next.
Oh, Game of Flags.
This episode is, okay, so we have, we have the reveal of River's, original last name. It was Johansson. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like, this episode is mostly just, kind of like a Thanksgiving episode, but also not really. Um, and there's like this really weird game of flags that's really dumb. The whole thing about Marco hating wet socks, which based, that came back.
Comes back. Yeah. Um, Next episode, okay, the actual name reminds me of a different episode, so I'm just actually going to say the description. Star gets nominated as Mayor of Detention.
Ah, yes, this episode. We get more development in the Jackie and Marco relationship. We see more of Jana, which is always a good thing. Um,
I'm looking up something. 1 second.
also, I want to congratulate. Not no, I want to commend Disney for this. There was a character who was speaking in a different language, and it was actually translated in the subtitles instead of just speaking foreign language. Like that shit.
I must have forgot.
Yeah, that shit really fucking pisses me off when a movie or a show will have subtitles and then won't translate the things another character is saying. It's so stupid. So what are you looking up
Okay.
exactly?
Oh, just so the actual episode name is called Girls Day Out. I That can actually describe another episode. I, I think at maybe 2 episodes better than this actual episode.
But
Anyway,
yeah, go ahead. Next episode.
We have a sleepover. Mark.
Sleepovers, such a good episode. I think this is one of my favorite episodes of the series.
So what
Because,
happens? What happens if a truth or dare game got set in front of a lie detector?
well, it's not even truth or dare. It's like it's just truth.
No, Avery, it's truth or punish.
Yeah, so surprisingly enough, the game itself comes back. Um,
Oh
but
my
yeah,
God, who the
Jana's
hell
favorite
want
color is
to?
pink.
Who the hell want to reproduce that?
Yeah,
Oh, probably some that sell it. Quest by.
let's just say it has other uses than just being a
Oh
game.
crap! Speaking about Quest by,
Hold on. So there's a lot of things to this episode that I want to talk about. Okay, so all right, obviously we get progression, a substantial amount of progression for the Marco Jackie relationship. There's a tiny bit of progression for Marco Star, um, but I think the thing that was like, I think one of the scary things is like when you're Marco in this episode and you go on this like really long speech and then like everything calms down for a second and you think, oh, maybe this is, it. And then the box just goes, but you weren't the one who lied. Like, that is horrifying.
that really is. And then I wonder how that they were going to say that, because I knew Star was the one that was lying after it was revealed that Marco wasn't.
Yeah. Also, an argument could be made for Jana because she very clearly also has a crush on Marco.
Yeah. Also, gift of the card.
Gift of the Card, another fantastic episode. I love that they made fun of Siri in this episode. I will search for cheesier mop store. Because, yeah, for quite a while, iPhones had the worst speech recognition out there. They got better, but speech recognition still kind of sucks. Um, but yeah, I think this episode is it. It's filler, but it's good filler. Well, actually, it's not even filler because you have the whole Rusticor thing. Um,
Hmm. Yeah. And then Marco finally buys a secure wallet that he will always use for the rest of the series.
yes, and also Jenna immediately breaks into it because she has Marco's thumbprint. Because of course she does.
Okay, this reminds me of the Phineas and Ferb episode where it was revealed that Buford just has a mold of all of his friends.
Yeah, that makes sense. Next,
Frenemies.
or is friend enemies, I believe it was.
Friend enemies. Okay, I like how so season 2 episode 10 friend enemies is mystery.
Yeah, so I know what both of these are. So friend enemies is you know, Tom shows up and is like, "Hey, I was wondering if you wanted to hang out," and Star was like, "No," and then he's like, "Oh, not you."
You.
Yeah, it was like, excuse me? But yeah, this is the episode where people started shipping Tom and Marco.
Oh, because of course they are. Oh, and then they got this um a living corpse beat up police officers.
And there's
Well, that's
also like another mention of Love Sentence, which is this band that seemingly everybody loves. Like Tom loves it, Marco loves it, Star loves it, Jackie loves it.
damn.
But
Everyone is loving this one band. Also, okay, the person that okay, I'm actually want to go back to my histories because I remember finding it. If you want to continue talking.
so yeah, I think we also get this song that they started singing, "Too Little, Too Late," which like I fucking know the full lyrics to every song in this show. So I mean that's its own thing, but like I don't know, it was a really entertaining episode, and I feel like we come out of it with a much stronger relationship between Marco and Tom. The next episode is Mystery. I believe is the one where Buff Frog is like going around and he finally figures out that Ludo is the one behind what he discovered earlier on in the season.
Oh yeah. Wait, before we go on that, so friend enemies. You remember the person brought from the dead, right?
Yes, Mackie Hand.
Yeah. Did that voice sound anywhere familiar to you?
Probably yes.
Well, he is the voice of Cameron Campbell.
Oh wow, that's something, I guess. If you're wondering who that is, Camp Camp. You can also check out our podcast episodes on that show.
I I
Shameless
had to look
plug.
it up because I knew that sounded too familiar. Oh, and then there's also oh, voice of Thor in Marvel Dimensions of Heroes.
Yeah, I was about to say I
And
didn't know Chris Hemsworth played Cameron Campbell.
Travis Willingham
Yeah,
is the
it was a joke, Lily.
Trev. I know. Um, also played a few roles in Amphibia as well.
Yeah, well, I haven't watched Amphibia yet, so
It was only one. They're all background characters in one episode.
but yeah, so is Mystery, it progresses the plot quite a bit, but there's also like really not too much to say about it. I mean, it's just like
So,
we get I mean, at the end we get the stinger that yeah, Buff Frog's gonna warn Star, and that's pretty much it. And we also
mhm.
see his terrible, terrible handwriting.
So we are getting into wait, what the hell? So, oh, you gotta be joking.
What?
So on Google, it completely misses season 2, episode 11. One second. I have the Disney Plus one loaded up.
All right. Sorry about this, guys. Just technical difficulties.
Oh, and while we're talking about it, you might want to look at how long our episode has all been already.
Yeah, I can see that. That's fine.
Well, I was thinking is, do you think this is one of the episodes that we should split up?
Eh, probably
Is
not.
his splitting up at episode 14 would actually be
I mean, we'll talk about that when we it I think the issue is like when would we record it?
Hmm. No, I think like just splitting up the podcast episodes, just so it doesn't we don't have like a 2 hour episode.
It's yeah, it might actually get to 2 hours. Yeah, we could stop at the end of uh Bon Bon the Birthday Clown.
It just seems like a perfect place to stop if we were going to stop.
Yeah, a rare
Okay,
two-parter again.
Hungry Larry.
Hungry Larry. Ah, yes, this episode. Um, where Marco Diaz's dad gets scary. Kind of. He really wasn't that scary.
It really wasn't.
But yeah, so they summon Hungry Larry in a very reminiscent of like the urban legends of Bloody Mary. Like, oh, you go into your bathroom and turn the lights off and say it into the mirror 3 times. Even though
Just a,
Bloody Mary is a drink that's based off that is named after an English queen who killed a lot of people.
yeah, I'm just kind of a spoiler. Bloody Mary doesn't work if you're really hoping on trying this yourself. I wouldn't hope for success.
Yeah. Next.
Spider with a top hat. Okay, this episode. Okay, this episode paired right next to Into the Wand is just weird, man.
So I think this one is complicated because
Very.
a lot of people. Okay, for one, I don't know what's going on inside that wand. Maybe there's multiple compartments, and that explains, why. Um, or maybe here's a different idea. What we actually see is in the physical. Like in this episode, is just in the physical wand itself in that space, but like what we see in Into the Wand is just inside the crystal, I guess you would say.
I guess?
I mean, the
Yeah,
golden star part, obviously, that would be the crystal.
yeah. So, these two episodes are not even in the same episode. But if you're watching, like if you're binging it on Disney Plus, they come right after each other. And
Yeah, Spider with a top
very
hat is
weird.
interesting. I do have some things to say about it, but yeah, go ahead.
It's just very weird to have you see what's in the wand, and the next episode, Star goes into the wand, and obviously. And I'm sorry, is every time Star summons something for an attack, it just lives in the wand? Of
Yep.
all of the other um things, like everything in that magic spell book.
See, this is one of the weird ones, and I think, okay, given that it's not clear whose spell Warnicorn Stampede is, I think once she's used it once, um, the thing is there if she ever like intends to use it again. So the monster arm's not there because she's probably not going to use that spell again.
Hmm.
Um, but okay, so the thing I wanted to talk about is a lot of people misunderstanding the my most powerful spell line, because no, it's not. She's just like Star is literally just saying that to like. It's just something to build up the spider's self-esteem. Spider with a top hat blast is not her most powerful spell.
Hmm. That is one long name for a spell.
And,
Anyway,
and like it is worth noting that Star is often using spells created by other people. Um, and it seems that a lot of these people have very different styles, especially Eclipsa. When we start seeing Eclipsa spells, whoa boy, that's a lot.
do you want to talk about Into the Wand more, or
Oh yes, absolutely. So we get references to a lot of past queens and princesses and shit. We learn that Moon previously fought Toffee. We get Toffee's finger.
yeah, that's not disgusting at all.
Yeah, totally not disgusting. Um, and like also it's just a really creepy vibe. Like imagine being oh god, it's like the whole don't worry, you'll never know the difference. That's really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't really have much more to say about that episode. So next.
Um, Pizza thing.
Oh,
Okay, Google is just messing up right now because for the episode 12 description, it's clearly episodes 11. Yeah, the ones that's missing.
okay. So pizza thing I didn't enjoy much at all. We got another mention of Marco's $650 thing in this episode, which like
Oh yeah.
it keeps getting frequently referenced, and people in the fandom on Amino were like wondering why the hell he always has $650 for the longest time, and then when that finally gets answered, it was just fucking hilarious.
He gets paid an exactly $650 in royalties.
Yes, every
Amazing.
month. It's
Oh
like
yeah, every month.
it's also a decent way to tell the passage of time.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I guess every time Marco has a new $650, a new month has passed.
Yeah, or at least a new payday has passed.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the best way to tell the passage of time, but it's a way to tell that some time has passed.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's not really much to say about this episode. I hate Ponyhead, so yeah.
Page Turner.
Yes. The Eclipse chapter episode. Also, the first episode where we get introduced to the Magic High Commission. We see Romulus, we see Omnitraxis Prime, we see Hekapoo, we see Lekmet.
So Hekaboo is the person that creates all scissors, right?
All the dimensional scissors, yeah.
And makes them personalized for the individual.
I think the implication is that she makes some of them personalized for individuals
Hmm.
um, who like earn them, but you can probably also just buy them at Quest Buy.
That makes sense, but like, well, okay, take a look at Ludo's. Just by a look of that, you can definitely see like, yeah, that's Ludo's.
well, there's also the idea that you don't necessarily have to be the person that earns them. Like those could have been passed down in Ludo's family. He could have also stolen them. That wouldn't surprise me either,
Oh,
because he
that's
is
also
Ludo.
true, yeah.
Like really, it doesn't matter because the reason that Hekapu comes after Marco is because those are her scissors, which Ponyhead
Also,
stole.
okay, first of all, Ponyhead been using them a lot. Star, more so, in fact, the entire series. In fact, it's been consistent. It's the same pair of scissors that Ponyhead gave her throughout the entire series. I'm actually amazed that they kept that consistent. And also, we now finally know where Ponyhead got those pair of scissors.
Yeah,
But
but I'm not surprised that Marco was the one that ended up getting caught with them because he went really fucking trigger happy with using them. Like he used them way more than Star ever did, and it's kind of implied he used them way more than Ponyhead ever did.
I mean, I don't know about like long term, but in a short amount of time, most definitely.
But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to running with scissors.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to say this. Naysaya.
Yes, Naysay. I love that this is a curse that Tom placed on Marco all the way back at the Blood Moon Ball.
Oh, I love that.
That's just like, wow, Marco. But yeah,
Even Tom is like, bro, how has this not come up before?
yeah, but like crazy amounts of development for Tom and not Tom. Crazy amounts of development for the Marco and Jackie relationship. Again, it will eventually blossom into a full romantic relationship, but
Will
we're
it
not there
crash and
yet.
burn?
Huh?
So will it crash and burn?
Oh yes.
Arson, burning.
I guess spoilers for season 3. But yeah, oh yeah, we were talking about Naysaya. But really there's not much more to say about it. It's weird that Jana knows what it is, but I mean it's Jana. We don't need an
But
We don't need an explanation. It's Jana.
Avery, even if we needed an explanation, we won't get one. We never get an explanation. Okay, we got halfway into the series, Bon Bon the birthday clown.
Ah
What a
yes.
weird name for an important episode.
Ah yes. The the winter or the mid-season finale. Um, this episode was a mess. So Marco and Jackie, actually, it's a full-blown relationship now in this episode. Um, Star is very clearly jealous. We see Star use one of Eclipse's spells, the All-Seeing Eye, which is actually kind of funny because I think they reference the All-Seeing Eye in the Owl House.
I'm
But
trying
it's
to remember, but I can't.
yeah, I think it's a different All-Seeing Eye though. It's just not Anyway, yeah. So Eclipse's spells are very, very different to what Star's spells are. And we will see that all-seeing eye used in very interesting ways later. But yeah, we get Janna and Star trying to resurrect a dead clown, and he does come back.
But that's not the important thing about the episode.
Yeah, he literally comes back and is sucked into a portal like 2 seconds later. Speaking of that
That should be
portal,
him.
speaking of that portal, I noticed that sometimes the subtitles are wrong.
Oh, I've noticed that too.
Yeah, like at one point, Star very clearly says "Mystic Room Suck Transform," and the subtitles said "Mystic Suck Portal."
The portal sucks.
And then later she would say Mystic Suck Portal. So that I don't know, that's weird. Weird to
I
me.
mean, someone. Some employee paying maybe minimum wage had to write all this down from an episode. You know, probably just got lazy somewhere.
Probably. But yeah, I think this episode's fantastic. Um Ludo actually manages to steal the spell book. Star is very understandably devastated. Um
And doesn't she call mom immediately,
no, I
or
think
is
that's
that
in the next episode.
maybe?
Because there's quite a lot of like there's quite a bit of back and forth about it, like,
Yeah.
and then like Marco saying that went a lot better than expected and stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that was in the next episode. So
Yeah, you're right. Though of
I
course I
think
wouldn't be able to know because the I'm not even kidding you. The next episode's description is the description for the goddamn series.
okay, but yeah, this episode was rough. It was like the last episode we got for like 2 or 3 months, and then we got kind of hit with a blitz. I think there were like a full week of releases. Like not 7 days, like 5 days of releases, just back to back to back. If I'm remembering correctly, that's what it was, um, or something crazy like that. It was wild. I just know that when like the very from 16 onward, a lot of people were just calling this the Blitz because they pushed those episodes out very fast and pretty much all at once.
Okay, so your call whether we split it now or continue forward.
Yeah, I think at this point we probably should split it. So, um, I guess check back tomorrow for part two of this episode. I actually
I
can't
did
write this
not
down.
expect it. I did not expect this to go so long.
Yeah, I can't actually write this down in the notebook. But yeah, um, until tomorrow, I've been Avery, that's been Lily, and I will remember this like something I will never forget.